my YouTube family. Yo, no fanfare, no nothing. I'm just on live to talk about what just happened. Um, right wing pundit or MAGA, whatever you want to call this guy, um, Charlie Kirk, was just killed in Utah on the campus on one of the universities. I think of either University of Utah or Utah State. Um, on that campus, and a lone gunman. Charlie Kirk is known to go from school to major universities and preach or talk about his rhetoric or have debates and discussions with the students at major universities across the country. He's obviously a right wing pundit. They have a lot of these guys that go out and they talk to students. I guess they're trying to sway people into believing in what they believe in as far as political views. But today, Charlie Kirk paid with his life for his beliefs. Whether he's let's just be honest, everybody. Whether bro really believed in what he was spewing, or if he was doing it as a grifter, trying to make money on this movement, this backwards ass movement politically that we have in the world and this country today. Really, it's getting like that around the world because there's a lot of conservative ideals going around in every country, from France, Denmark, Germany, and so forth. But it's gotten out of hand in the United States, and Charlie Kirk paid with his life today. Charlie Kirk was murdered on a campus, on a Utah University campus. As he always has done, he set up shop on the campus to go back and forth with students in regard to his right wing beliefs, and it basically paid with his life for those beliefs. Uh, those are the only real details I have. I've been hearing about it all day. When I heard earlier today, I was on a business call, and they said that someone had shot Charlie Kirk in the neck. I was thinking it was going to be one of those situations where it was very similar to what happened to Donald Trump, and that it was something that was manufactured. Because I actually believe, I don't care what anyone says, that is on that will be on this live or see this live or see the story I'm going to create, because I am going to do a story after this live. But I thought it was important that I came on today, since I do talk about the political nature of what's going on, and not only in the United States but across the world. And I see I have a co-host for the Corner Store International podcast on my live right now, Matthew from Nantes, France. Shout out to Best. And we talk about things like this all the time. Not, we don't normally let our whole podcast be about that. We talk about international travel as well as domestic travel in the United States, as well as politics. Because you really, if you are going to travel, you really want to know the politics of the country that you might be traveling to. That's important. So, listening to our podcast from time to time is very important, because you don't want a vacation in a country that doesn't have your own beliefs, or at least has a lot of, how should I say this, extremist beliefs, to where you may go there and not only enjoy yourself, but might get into some kind of weird trouble. But anyway, I digress. The story at hand, which initiated this live stream, is Charlie Kirk. And for those who don't know Charlie Kirk, I'm going to give you a little background on him. He's a political pundit, a MAGA pundit, and he talks about his beliefs about DEI. He's very much doing the talking points of a lot of extremists and fascist and racist point of views. But nobody deserves to be killed. Let's just be that. Let's be honest. Unless he's in his head has thought about killing somebody, as long as he hasn't actually crossed that line. But his beliefs and his support of the ideas of a lot of different people in the country subsequently helped him be murdered today. Yeah, Charlie Kirk died today for his racist ideals. Is that cool? Fuck no, that ain't cool. That's actually fucking terrible. A lot of people would probably be like, Dex, man, don't say that. He paid for his sins and all this other stuff. Well, really, we shouldn't be the ones trying to tell anybody on this planet. Like if a dude comes at you with a knife and you can disarm him, you're gonna kill him. At least that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know about you. I'm just telling, and I'm not saying that to the world to get in no trouble or nothing. What I'm saying to you is, if you have to defend yourself from someone, and that means you have to take view message. Somebody just sent me a message. Let me see. Fuck him. He ain't nothing about the black man's struggle, but says 75% of us leave our families. What? What about the white man they leave by the boat? They leave by the boatload. Well, check this out, Les. I feel you, bro, and you got the right to say what you want. And I'm just one of them people, bro. I don't want to see nobody get killed unless they deserve to get killed. Just because somebody going out there talking a bunch of bullshit he doesn't deserve to get murked like that. But if there might be another reason he got murked. He could be touching on kids and not any. We don't know. I'm a spiritual person. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna take nobody's life just because I don't like them. They're going to have to try to do something to me or say they're going to do something to me. That's different. And there's no disrespect to your opinion or nothing like that, bro. This is your first time obviously being on my live stream, which is dope. But I'm of the mindset that Charlie Kirk being killed, he did ask for it. There's a lot of crazy ass people out there, and nobody should ever be able to be scared to voice their opinion. But just like they said, people are always talking about, freedom of speech. And that's true. There is freedom of speech in the United States. But you got to realize something. You're free to say what you want. But there's a penalty. There is a cost. The government going to say, yeah, you have the right to say that. But remember, there's other people listening to you say shit. There's other people listening to you say things, bro. And when you say something out of pocket, there's some screwball at home with a screw loose waiting for you to say the right thing to trigger them to do something to you. Does that mean don't say nothing? No, that just means understand when you do voice your opinion and you make money off of said opinion, and that opinion affects people. He does. He blames. Man, you know that. Look, you speaking to the choir, dog. You ain't got to say he blames half the crime on our community. Of course he does. What fucking MAGA or certain demographic in the Republican Party, because there's certain Republicans all of a sudden now changing their tune about saying all those different things since they realized they done put an insane son of a bitch in office. Now, with that said, bro, you preaching to the choir. You preaching to the choir, and I see the anger and I hear the anger in your texts. You obviously don't know shit about me. Go to my Corner Store Television Instagram page as well as this YouTube page, and you'll see I put up a lot of things in regard to what happened to us during slavery, all of that. None of that gets past me, bro. But you got to realize something. We human beings, we're created by God, bro. We're not supposed to be trying to take nobody's life unless they try to take ours. Now, if they try to take ours by spewing a whole bunch of rhetoric to where somebody else tries to come and get us, it's the same thing. I get what you're saying, but check it. That's the reason why you keep your burner at the ready. You keep your head on a swivel. I don't go nowhere without knowing that I'm going to have to do what I got to do. I told this one homeboy who came over here to my crib when we was in my studio doing a Corner Store podcast, this motherfucker out at night with flip-flops on. Now, you're going to ask yourself, what does that mean? Well, I'm from the hood. I'm from South Central LA. You don't go nowhere when you ain't got your shoes on. If you leave your house and you go to a store or anything like that, don't be wearing no goddamn flip flops. Next thing you know, you fighting in your bare feet. You always put some shoes on when you go anywhere because you never know what might happen. Oh, okay. All right, cool, man. I'm glad you said that because I was like, who is this cat? No disrespect. And I don't mean to turn this into some funny shit and laugh about it. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta make light of all of this psychotic shit that be going on out here, Brody. We got to make light of it. That's the reason why I do funny shit and have, a funny opinion about such shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad either, bro. Not even, and I'm not mad either. And I ain't mean to say you was mad at the world or you one of them dudes up in your backyard looking at a bunch of shit on the video and then you start shaking your fist at the clouds like, God, why you letting this happen? No, I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is this. Charlie Kirk got murdered today. And whether you believe he deserved to die that way or not, we're not supposed to be out here trying to take lives. We're supposed to be trying to help each other. Even his dumbass. Because there's people like what's this guy named Trizzy Entertainment. There's a white guy with a big old thick beard, kind of got like a faux hawk, whatever, that's from Florida. That dude used to be racist as hell. But he came to his senses. And ever since then, he's been calling out racism wherever he can find it. Yeah, he's on TikTok, and yeah, he making money doing videos and shit like that. But he'll tell you himself he would do that shit for free. And I take everything, even what he said, with a grain of salt. Actions speak louder than words, bro. Just because somebody say, are we down with the cause, don't necessarily mean that shit. But what I will do is I'll say that anybody can be swayed. Only reason why these people think this way is because they've been taught to think this way. Charlie Kirk paid with his life today for those stupid ass racist ideals. He paid with his life today. He's been going from college to college campus to college campus. Go look at his previous videos. He goes there to stir up trouble. He goes there to incite people's anger. That's what he does that for. There are YouTubers that do the same shit. Not only do they, now you're right, man, they fear what they don't know. They know who the fuck we are. You know just as much as I do that them people know who we are. That's the reason why we're treated this way. They know exactly who black people are. They know who we are. They fear what they don't understand. You making it sound like we just landed. We came from another planet. We just landed in this motherfucker. No, that's not it at all. Somebody else, god damn, somebody else coming with the crazy ass message. Somebody must be cussing or something. Until they daughter and granddaughter and grandson pop up with black babies. You know what? I'm going to tell you something about that. And you're right about that. A lot of them do get mad and disown their kids. But I have seen situations where a child, their grandchild being born, whether it was by another race or not, that softens them. And sometimes that changes their whole perspective. I've seen that situation too. Racist ass granddad. He saw his grandbaby who was, even though he was black and white, he softened. He was like, man, that's my grandbaby, man. What am I thinking? This is true. It's people out there who switch up because of a miracle like a child being born like that. But look, I'm not trying to, look, everybody on here probably think I'm trying to make excuses for these people. Ask my homeboy if he's still on here right now. Ask my homeboy Best. Hell, ask Scene 13. He's a young ass dude out of New Jersey. Ask them how much I care about my race and how much damage has been done to us psychologically. Ask them. They know me. They know how I get down. They know what I think about and talk about. They know what type of society I think we should be living in. It's never gonna be that way. Racism ain't going nowhere, bro. That shit is never going nowhere. There will always be Charlie Kirks. There will always be Candace Owens. There will always be black people that go against the grain. Always. There will be people that will vote against their own fucking rights, own futures, own money, just because they want to feel that they better than you. If you guys remember, I'm gonna leave you with this. I'm not getting off live right now, but I'm gonna leave you with this. Go and watch this movie, Mississippi Burning. There's a scene in Mississippi Burning where Willem Dafoe and Gene Hackman, and I mentioned this on Corner Store Podcast yesterday. And go watch that episode, Corner Store Podcast live yesterday. And Willem Dafoe had just came from a funeral where they hung this black kid's father. He was trying to give them information on what happened to the kids that came down. That there was some freedom marchers that came down to Mississippi. This is a true story. They killed them and threw them in a quarry lake in a car. They drowned them. They killed the kids, shot them, and drove their car into a lake. So Willem Dafoe asked Gene Hackman, "What is wrong with these people down here in Mississippi? Why are they doing this shit?" So he said, "Let me just tell you a story." He said, "It's about my dad." He said, "Me and my dad used to live next door, or shit. We had some a black guy named Monroe who was a sharecropper, had a piece of land, had a shack on that piece of land, and he was growing vegetables to make money. Well, Monroe ended up getting a mule, and most black people didn't have a tractor or none of that shit. They was doing all of that damn farming by hand. But when he got this mule for whatever he paid for it, that was going to help him immensely. And a lot of white people didn't even have mules. Gene Hackman's father in the movie didn't have a mule. And all of the white guys, when they heard that Monroe had a mule, start teasing Gene Hackman's father, saying, "Oh, Monroe gonna make more money than you. He gonna plow 3-4 times more fields than you are." Well, about a week goes by, 2 weeks goes by, Monroe's mule come up dead. Somebody had poisoned it. Killed the mule, gone. A little while passed, and Gene Hackman said he was driving with his dad, and when they was passing old Monroe's place on the road that his house was on, they noticed it was all boarded up, and some say that he had moved up north and everything, right? By that time, Willem Dafoe's looking at his daddy while he's looking at Monroe's house, and he realized at that point that his daddy was the one who poisoned that mule. His dad looked at him and caught him looking at him, and he knew that I knew by the look on my face. So my dad just turned, he said his dad just turned around and kept driving, and he said to his son, "Well, son, if you ain't better than a nigger, who are you better than?" Just because those men were making jokes about him that Monroe might possibly be better than him just because he bought that mule. And Gene Hackman said right then to Willem Dafoe, "I knew my daddy was the one who poisoned that mule." Willem Dafoe looks at him and says, "Well, what's the purpose of you telling me that story?" He said, "What does that mean?" He says, "I doesn't mean anything necessarily. I was just telling you a story about my daddy." But basically what he wanted Willem Dafoe to understand is the mindset that had been put into poor white people's minds. If you're poor, it's because of them. If you're poor and you see them trying to advance, you have to thwart that. Because if you let them look better than you or live better than you, that's the reason why they blew up all the black towns and destroyed the town that's under Lake Lanier in Georgia. The one that the Juneteenth was created. All these black thriving towns that had black banks, black clothing, black tailors, black blacksmiths, all kind of, they couldn't have that. They had to keep us down. A comedian who passed away a few years ago used to write for Eddie Murphy. I forget his name. Anyway, I know I can think of it in a minute, but he said something real profound as well. He said it's crazy how white people don't want us in our neighborhood, But back in the day, they had us all in their house, made rooms for you, created shacks for certain black people who didn't have nowhere to sleep. Those were the ones that were going to be in the fields. Then you had the ones in the house that they treated a little better, gave them a little better food, what the master left over. And as soon as we got our freedom, now they don't want you in the country no more because they can't control you. They can't do what they want to you. And you'd be free to be just like them, to actually go buy a home. That's the reason why you can't, if you black, if you got a house and you paid it off and you want to sell it, they'll have, if a white appraiser that doesn't like black people come to your house, he'll appraise your house for less than its value. That's been proven. You can go look those videos up. I know what country we live in, man. It will never change. I don't give a shit who's becomes president. I don't give a damn if the Congress and the Senate all of a sudden becomes very pro-black and want to give us, you know what, if reparations happens, there's actually a contingent of white people I actually believe will not only want to kill blacks, but some of them will probably kill themselves thinking they've lost this country. Everyone else, from the Jews to the Japanese to anybody who's been hurt by the actions of the United States, have been reparated except for black people. So I don't want nobody to ever come on this thing or come on my live talking to me like I'm down with Charlie Kirk. I just think it's bullshit and it goes against God, who I believe in. I believe in God. I don't believe in religion. For Catholicism or any denomination, black, white, whatever, Pentecost, all of those denominations are full of crap. They're all made to divide us. Everybody thinking they believing in this, that, and the third. And I'm this, I'm a Christian, I'm a Catholic, I'm this. All of that shit is crazy. The belief in the one true God is the most important thing. Just believing and knowing that God created this world. He created you. And that what we're here for is to not only thrive and do well and live well, we're here to help each other do that very same thing. And people like Charlie Kirk, though vile, though reprehensible, no morals, no backbone, even though someone like that can be severely murdered right on the campus of a major university, spewing their rhetoric, I still think it's bullshit that he had to die like that, but he made his own fucking bed. So now he's going to have to lie with the lilies for the rest of his life. Which he ain't got no life no more. I know that was a terrible way of putting it, because he has no life no more. For his afterlife, a lot of people think he going to hell, and he probably is. I hate to laugh, because I don't want to laugh at his death, but look at the world we live in, man. This is a crazy place, bro. My hair looking crazy on one side. Gotta pop my blowout. Hold on. Anyway, Charlie Kirk, right wing MAGA. I'm not gonna call him a Republican, because at this point, calling them Republicans, and believe me, everybody who knows me knows I don't fuck with the Democrats either. I think they full of shit as well. This whole political system in the United States of America is corrupt. And it's all about money. Anything that goes on in the United States is all about money. Why in the hell would we be going to war with Venezuela? If it's not about money. Yeah, fuck both parties. You already know. And they keep holding all of your messages in review, bro. Cause you cussing your butt off. I'm telling you, I feel you. I feel the heat over there. You ain't necessarily mad, but you is frustrated. And I get that. But initially I started this live to talk about Charlie Kirk and that he was summarily killed. It's all over the news on CNN. It's everywhere. And yeah, it's a crazy world, man. Crazy world. Hey, y'all, be safe, stay blessed. Uh, have an opinion. Be ready to defend yourself at all times. Uh, ain't nobody safe. Ain't nobody safe. Nobody safe. Even the ones who think they safe is not safe. Les said, lies, lies, lies. Shit ain't changed. It's all gotten worse. Same old promises, no action. Push, push, step, step. That sounds like some dance moves. Push, push, step, step. Push, push, step, step. Push, push, step, step. Push, push, step, step. You ain't lying, dog. I hate to be laughing at somebody's death, bro. I hate to be lying at somebody. I mean, lying. I hate to be laughing. I'm not lying at all. I hate to be laughing at somebody's death, even somebody as reprehensible as Charlie Kirk. But it is what it is. I was planning on doing a. Oh shit! Oh well, I'm gonna have to stay in here for a minute because I got the homegirl in here, Southern girl. What's up, Southern girl? Peace, Les, man. Stay blessed, man. God bless you, bro. Yeah, Southern Girl. Since you just joined right before I'm about to get off the live right now, I did an impromptu live. This is a Corner Store Television special report on Charlie Kirk, MAGA pundit, was killed today at a university in Utah. He was doing his normal speaking engagements. I guess he has a few of them all over the country. And there's videos of him going back and forth with students at major universities all over the U.S. But yeah, somebody had a gun at the rally or whatever they want to call it, and walked up on him and shot him in the neck. And he was rushed to the hospital where I guess they tried to do life-saving measures on him, and he was pronounced dead. Um, Matter of fact, give me 2 seconds here. Give me a second. Let me do something real quick. Hold on a second here. Oh boy, crazy world, man. Crazy fucking world. We're in a crazy fucking world. It should be right here. I'm going to find out a little bit more news. Conservative activist Charlie Kirk shot and killed. Manhunt. Oh, they didn't catch the suspect. I thought they caught the guy, but they didn't catch it. And I'm going to let you guys hear this as I'm watching it. So listen up.
Times they would actually get violent. In fact, just earlier this year in April at UC Davis, violence erupted when protesters started assaulting Turning Point activists, tearing down their equipment. At least 2 people during that event reported being assaulted. In 2023 in San Francisco, swimmer Riley Gaines, who was speaking at a Turning Point USA event about transgender athletes, she says that she was accosted by protesters. She said she'd be barricaded in a room for several hours. And then in 2019, a man actually ended up facing felony charges for assaulting one of their activists for the group at UC Berkeley who was trying to recruit students. And today's event, actually, there was a petition online trying to get the university to cancel the event. Now, that petition had less than 1,000 signatures, but they said Kirk's presence and the messages he delivers stand in contrast to the values of the university. And actually, a petition was also launched for a similar event that Charlie Kirk was supposed to be speaking at, also at a Utah university on September 30th. And that event, or that petition, had more than 6,500 signatures on it. Charlie Kirk actually even tweeted about these protests, about these petitions, posting online what's going on in Utah, along with screenshots of some of the headlines about the controversy about these events.
And Donnie, within minutes
That's
of the
him,
shooting,
Charlie Kirk.
The video of him being murdered, and it's
there's a video,
horrifying detail, was not only on social media; it was amplified. How
got this for my birthday right here. This is nice.
The spread. Why does it feel like these platforms are constantly showing us the worst of us?
Yeah, I mean, Jake, that is the nature of it.
Now, let me stop this. Did you hear Jake Tapper's dumbass? See, this is the reason why social media and all of these different social media and everything is becoming such a thing. Because the media has the nerve to say, why does these platforms show us at our worst? Because the media is going to lie to you and try to show you the media only wants to show you what they want to show you. They're not going to show you everything. Just like those two kids that were supposedly had a trunk full of cars that was driving to Texas from some other state. They had a trunk full of guns, not cars. They had a trunk full of guns they were going to go do, and the FBI supposedly caught them or something. Nobody talked about that on major news. People need to be informed that there's people out there that's doing this shit. Maybe Charlie Kirk, who may not deserve to live or die, depending on what you think, or it's all personal perspective as far as I'm concerned. But maybe he could have been, saved if the regular news would tell the truth. I don't know, man. This shit is fucking crazy. Bro is dead. And I guarantee you, Nick Fuentes, all of these MAGA people, watch how quick they start staying their ass in. Nick Fuentes don't go nowhere. He'll go to a thing where he's in a panel with people. You know what I'm saying? Even in a panel, though, you can still get your ass shot. I mean, but Charlie Kirk used to actually think he was tough. Charlie Kirk threatened Jink, that guy Jink from Young Turks. They were on a panel together. Not on a panel. Jink was in the audience, and he was on the. Charlie Kirk was on the panel, and he said they started a back and forth. Next, Charlie Kirk acted like he was going to come down there and fight the man. Now see what they're going to do. This is what they're going to do. Now see, this is what they're going to do now. They're going to show him as a compassionate figure. This is they're actually putting the flags at half mast. You only do that Charlie Kirk wasn't in the government. Utah Valley University is where this happened. Utah Valley University is where this happened. And Jake Tapper had the nerve just now to say, why are these social media platforms like TikTok and all these and Facebook and all of a sudden showing us? Remember, this shit's been around. Content and social media has been around for years. The only reason all of this stuff is getting more and more violent, and he said, why are they showing us at our worst? Because we're being worse. We're getting worse and worse. That people like him are using the fucking internet to spread this bullshit. And he summarily died for it today. He died for it. The man fucking died for it today. This is the world we living in. Hey, y'all, do me a favor, man. Subscribe, like this video. Hit the notification bell from whenever I'm up. I may do a comic book corner episode tonight. A whole bunch of new information about new Marvel films, DC films, comic book lore, the whole 9 yards, man. If I don't do it tonight, it's probably because of this BS that's going on. But definitely a Corner Store podcast episode will be happening tomorrow, where I'll talk more about this in depth on the death of the murder by conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Activist. How is he a conservative activist anyway? The death of and the murder of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, shot and killed today at Utah Valley State University. Crazy world we living in. I'll holler at y'all.